Yesterday I was called by somebody who, in fact emailed by somebody who is thinking about coming along to one of my workshops because they're thinking about becoming their own boss or running their own business, and they shared that they didn't know anything about how to start. And I think that that's a very honest place to start, because many of us, myself included, when I started out and I decided that I wanted to retrain and become a coach and do my own thing, I didn't know where to start. So I just wanted to stop by and just share a few tips in my coach mode and in my coach garb today, not in business wear, about that kind of process, which might be useful for you if you are perhaps employed at the moment and you're thinking about doing your own thing or running your own business. I think the first thing is, who are you? Give yourself the space to ask yourself, who am I? What's really important to me? What's really important to me in my life? What is it you're passionate about? What are the skills you've developed? What is the things you can genuinely be interested, that you're genuinely interested to do? Because it's going to be very, very hard to succeed in business doing something that you're not passionate about. It's this thing about being you, discovering what it is you're passionate about, what it is you're really motivated by. It's a bit like I was saying to somebody who rang me up yesterday and who I was chatting to. I said, you've got to find the thing that you're so passionate about that you do even if you weren't being paid for it. That's not to say that we're not going to ensure that you are being paid for it, but it means that you're going to be just so passionate about it, that motivation is going to be there. So we need to find out what your motives are. Who are you? What are your motives? What is it you're motivated by, so that there will be that momentum to actually carry you further forward? So that's the first thing, who it is that you are, giving yourself that space. What is it you're really passionate about? From there, maybe what's useful to think about there is, where is it that you are right now? What are your circumstances actually right now? Maybe you're employed, maybe you're working part-time, maybe it is that you're based at home. What are your circumstances? Perhaps you've got family, perhaps there are dependents, perhaps there are children, and so on. All these things are going to be factors in terms of the reality of what it is that you're going to need to have in place. When I started on the journey of becoming my own boss, I was quite lucky. I didn't have any dependents or anything like that. It was just me, so I could just go headlong into what I was doing. But perhaps your circumstances are different. What's your relationship to things like risk? Are you somebody who's comfortable about taking risks? Do you like that adventure? Are you somebody who needs more certainty? There isn't much certainty in life. But there isn't necessarily much certainty in business. So those are things for you to consider, where it is that you're at, what your actual circumstances. And give yourself the space to consider, what is it that your actual aspirations, what are the things that you're wanting to actually do? And that may well link to your passions and to your drivers and your motives and so on. What are the things that you're actually wanting to do? What are the things that you're actually wanting to achieve? What are the things you're actually wanting to contribute? Give yourself the space to develop that picture, because one of the most important things in business, whether it is you're self-employed, whether it is you're employing others, whether it is you're running a company, is that you need to have that vision of where it is that you're going. You've got to have a vision about what it is you're truly about. Nobody else can give you that. When I'm running my workshop at the British Library, which I run, or wherever I'm out and about running workshops on business or doing your own thing or being your own brand or any of these things, it's very important I give people that space to explore and to tease out who they are, what their vision is, what their values are, what their mission is. That will shift or change, but it's very important that you give yourself that space. What is it that you're wanting to achieve, personally and professionally, and all the rest of it? Just so that you're clear. Life may turn out differently, or we may take different turns, but having that sense of who you are, what you're about, what you genuinely care about, is very, very, very important. Then we're perhaps through to some of the practicalities. So perhaps now we've got an idea of, okay, this is what I'm passionate about. I'm wanting to run my own grocery business, or I'm wanting to make jewellery, or I'm really good at online, or I need to develop this particular business network, or I'm wanting to develop a chain of boutique stores, or whatever it might well be. Once you're kind of clear about that, it's really important to begin to explore and to research what is it that journey is actually going to involve. The higher the mountain that you're going to want to climb, the longer the journey, and the more expertise, skills, tools, or the bigger the team it is that you're going to probably need to achieve that. So you're going to need to begin to learn and to explore all of that kind of stuff. And just like the sounds going on, in the background there's going to be so much stuff going on in business, and you're going to need to remain focused despite all the external noise, all the noises that's going on. So you need to really consider, okay, what is this journey that I'm going on? What's actually going to be practically involved in setting up this business? There are lots of resources out there. There are lots of good business books. Seek them out. I'm based in London, and there's places like the British Library's Business and IP Centre that has that information. And depending where it is that you're based in the world, there may well be specific government websites about the practicalities about starting up a business. There will be industry sector organisations that may well be incredibly valuable. There's probably going to be an industry group, or at least one, for every industry that you can think about. Joining that industry group can be very, very, very useful, because there'll be people who are on that journey. They're often set up to kind of help people who are wanting to set up their business in that particular kind of field. So becoming a member of that, researching that is really, really useful. But also it's going to be very important to find out what your actual customers want. There's one thing you having your idea about what it is that you're wanting to do, but what is it that your customers actually want? And lots of people I meet are actually afraid to actually ask their potential customers what they want. It is so important. So you think the world needs this particular new IT device, or so you think people want this particular type of event. But do people actually want it? Are they interested? Are they prepared to pay for it? So you're going to need to dip your toe in the water. You're going to need to ask people, you're going to need to do some research. Again, the more detailed, the more involved it is that you're the nature of your business, particularly if there are things like premises or you're producing product, the far more research that you're going to need to do about what your customers want. And there's going to be all sorts of other research that you're going to probably need to do about the logistics, the operational stuff in terms of that's going to be involved in your business. So if you like, there are going to be three main aspects of your business: all the operational stuff, where it is that you're going to be based, how it actually you're going to supply that particular product or service, all of the logistics involved in that, the processes, the paperwork, how you're going to manage all of that, the people, if there's going to be just you or if there's going to be staff involved. There's all that kind of stuff. And then there's the marketing, how it is that you're going to reach your customers and how your customers are going to be able to find you. That might be from business cards to websites to social networking to word of mouth to referrals to events and conferences to writing to speaking to blogging to video to stopping people on the street to chatting to people to utilising your network. It's going to be all the marketing kind of side of stuff. And then there's all the financial side of stuff. There's going to be some financial rules and regulations, so it's probably going to be important that you need a bookkeeper or you're going to need an accountant to make sure that you are adhering to that. And then there's also, you're going to need to be understanding the numbers related to your business of how many you need to sell, how much the cost of what it is that you're producing, your material costs, how much cash flow you need, when it is that you're going to be paid, how much it is you're going to be paid, where it is that you sit in the market, how much you want to charge. And all of these things can be quite complex, or there can be quite a lot involved in these particular kind of things. So these are all of the things that need to be considered. The more it is that you can plan and prepare and consider, read up, the more it's going to help you. I would highly recommend that you go out and seek people who are running their own business. If you're not sure what business you want to go in, go and talk to lots of people who are happy in what they're doing. That could be really useful, because you can help them. It will help you find out what is true to you. If you then have got a particular business sector that you have in mind, it can be brilliant to talk to people who've been in that particular field. Again, that's where industry groups and so on can be very useful. I know, for example, in my own field of coaching, there's lots of coaching circles that can be great, and they often welcome people who are thinking about going on the coaching journey. Because people, if you talk to them, will share with you so much about what's involved in that particular business or that particular industry and so on, and they'll often be very, very kind to share the pitfalls and so on, so that you don't have to fall into the same pitfalls that they did. And then it's going to be a case of step by step by step and measuring how it is that you're going to be doing step by step. So I hope that's helpful, just to spark off a few thoughts. So just to recap, I think the first thing is you. Who are you? What's really important to you? Next thing is about where are you at, what are your circumstances, what are the logistics, what's going on for you right now, what is it you're going to need to have in place, what is it you're going to need to make financially in order for you to be able to meet the your living standards, your circumstances, or to be able to feed the family or yourself, or whatever it is going to be involved. And then it's going to be about researching the nature of your type of industry, and then it may well be about gathering the right kind of team of experts to help you. Do you want to go on this business journey alone? Do you want to work with other people? Who else can you seek out to help you, to support you, and so on? Final thing I want to say is that you need to be creative. I meet so many people in business, that aren't creative. Business is about creativity. It starts off just with this idea in your head. And so it's really important for you to be creative and innovative. You may not have all the resources and so on, but how can you be resourceful? It's going to be really, really important to be resourceful. Maybe you don't have all the money that you can need to start up your business. Okay, you might be going out there trying to find finance or whatever, but are there any other ways that you can try and test what it is that you're doing, or it is that you can be creative around that, about getting other people to support you, to lend a hand or to exchange services or whatever? You need to be creative. You need to be creative not just at the start, but you're going to need to be creative throughout the entire journey of running your business. So I hope that's helpful. I hope it gives you a little bit of an insight into those things. If you check out my website, rosaru.com, you're going to find out more information about that kind of stuff. But wherever it is that you go, there is a lot of information out there. And that brings us on to really the last thing. That running your own business, you are the captain of your own ship. So it's down to you. You've got to make that next step. Nobody else is going to be able to make it happen. You're going to be the one who's going to find the crew. You're going to be the one who's going to set the destination. You're the one who's got to check that you're in charge. You're the one who's responsible for the cabin, to the crew, to the customers and so on who are on board. You're the one who's going to be able to make sure that everything is shipshape. You're going to be the one to make sure that you're ready for each particular journey. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a bit of insight. And I want to wish you all the best in your journey in terms of being your own boss, setting up your own business, and enjoy every moment of it. Take care.